on stage, and it's all about to kick off. But organisers are also handing out some special awards today. We just heard from Black Sabbath guitarist Tony Iommi, who's getting the Gibson Les Paul Award, and another big one is the Innovation in Sound Award, which this year goes to electronic pioneer Gary Numan. Now, in the past, Gary's shied away from playing or even talking about his classic 80s back catalogue, hits like Cars and Our Friends Electric, but later this week he's going to play a series of special UK shows celebrating the 3 early albums that made his name. So Replicas from 1979, The Pleasure Principle also from 1979, and Telecon from 1980. He's going to play each of those in their entirety for 3 shows at the Forum in Kentish Town, kicking off on Wednesday, and then he's doing a compilation show at Manchester Academy this Saturday. So this all follows a really good reaction to his last record, 2013 Splinter, which got rave reviews and a top 20 chart position. Now, Gary lives in California at the moment, and before he got on a plane to London to pick up that Q Award, I had a chat with him on the phone from LA about being honoured for his innovation in sound and what changed his mind about embracing those 80s hits.
I'm not really one for getting inspiration by looking backwards. It's more about looking forwards and what you can find that you hadn't done before. You know, I did more touring last year than I've done since I started. And the last album did better than anything I've done since about 1981, I think. So, if anything, that side of the career is getting stronger. And the thing that makes me most excited, and I most want to go into the studio each day, is this never-ending search for stranger and beautiful sound. Just sound, really. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think the last time I was in London, I spent quite a long time on one of the underground trains. They make this phenomenal noise when they're slowing down. So I recorded that. Anything, you can be on the street and drills. You know, sometimes you go in an area where they're doing some building. Sometimes it's quite rhythmic, you know, whatever it might be, like one of those drills that bangs the ground in. Recorded those a few times. That is my anorak fascination. Okay, not the most interesting person to talk to at dinner parties. I'm getting an award for it. Who'd have thought?
And you're going to do some shows while you're over here as well, which are marking the re-release of some of your biggest albums on vinyl.
I've always had a bit of a chip on my shoulder about the past. I've distanced myself from it quite a lot. The success that I had in the early days created a bit of a shadow. I kind of overreacted to that a little bit. I would play old stuff very rarely at shows, and I would only ever talk about new things and what I was doing next, and I'm trying to drag myself out of the shadow. And I never really did that until the last album came out. It did very well, and people were talking about it. It's been the best thing that I'd ever done, and there was lots of amazing reviews for it, and we got album of the month, lots of places. It was just very, very cool and very positive. And with that, I felt as if I'd moved out of the shadow, and I'd just established myself as an ongoing act, you know, that was as relevant now as I was 35 years ago, and that made a huge difference to me. And with that, I was able to look back at my back catalogue and actually enjoy it and be proud of it in a way that I'd never really done before. Going back to the albums that shaped my entire life. First one is called Replicas, that came out in '79. That had a song called Our Friends Electric on it. It's considered to be the first of the electronic albums that kind of launched it as a genre. The weird thing about it is half the songs on there don't even have any keyboards on them, they're guitar-based, so it's a bit of a hybrid. The second one is called The Pleasure Principle. That's what changed everything in America. Actually, that had Cars on it. And then the third one is Telecon, which came out in 1980. And that one was the first one I've made after I got famous, so it's a bit paranoid. And I'm clearly all bothered and weirded out by the whole thing. So that's a little bit weird for me to go back to now. And it's interesting to listen to the original recordings and realise how incredibly basic and, dare I say, amateurish it all was. Tempos aren't fixed. It wasn't even tuned properly. You know, there's mistakes in there that really should have been fixed and weren't because we was in such a hurry. Yeah, these are all #1 albums, huge successful albums that are now considered classics and innovative and groundbreaking, and all those really cool things that people say about them, rather than being embarrassed by it or distancing myself from it. I'm proud of it, actually.
Yeah, so congrats to Gary Numan on his
Absolutely.
Innovation in Sound Award. They've also just handed out Best New Act to James Bay. You'll be able to hear from some of the other Q Awards winners in the Music News with Matt on the Six Music Breakfast Show tomorrow morning.